Hi everyone. We all have that situation that we never ever want to be in, right? A situation that we dread, and throughout our lives, we just do our best not to get to that point. And yet, maybe you've gotten to that situation, or maybe you feel like you're on this fast paced train, inevitably taking you there. And if that's the case, then this is a video for you because I'll explain how to see the situation, how to face it, how to deal with it, right? So first of all, if you have something that you're dreading and you never ever want to be there is a big chance that you have it always in the background. It's always there. There is fear attached to it, and now everything that you do is based on that fear. So you're not taking steps, actions in your life based on, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want to create. But you're coming from a place of, oh, I don't want to be there. I don't want this. I don't want that. And based on that, you are creating, you are preventing. Right? So you're not creating, you are preventing something from happening. And so that fear, that situation, that experience are always in the background. And this is one of the reasons why it comes to you. Because in that moment, at last, you will have to face it. Because living in fear and anxiety all the time and in dread that something will happen is just horrible. It's a nightmare. But most of us are so used to it, we don't even see it as a nightmare. It's just normal. It's just there, right? And many people around us also live like that. So, you think that living like this all the time is just the norm. But it isn't. And so when this happens, you really have the possibility, you're giving the option, the opportunity to face your fear. Because in that moment, number one, you have made your fear bigger than you are. You have made that experience bigger than you are. You think that, you've really, imagine it. I want you to go back to that moment, to that experience, and look at it. And you will see that that experience is so big and you are this powerless creature here, and it's going to get you, right? And you just can't live like that, number one. Number two, it's like it's not natural for you because you need, the whole idea of this life is for you to find through the different experiences your power. And in that moment, you're actually losing power. You're being drained of your energy, right? And you're losing power. And you're not, and so this experience will take you to finding your power. It's a choice. You'll have to make a choice in that moment. But if you make the choice to go towards it, to face it, because that's what's happening. Imagine that it's a simulation of what you should be doing. So by it coming to you, it's symbolically telling you, face it. You can handle it. You can make it. Right? See the power that you have, because you're not trusting yourself. And through that experience of victimhood, because it is the victim, right? You will find your power. The second thing that is happening in that moment is by you running away from it, you're also making something that is part of your reality, because it is there. It's always, even if you're trying to avoid it, it's always in the background. You are making something that is part of your reality a mistake, right? And that can't feel good. It's like you're saying, I am trapped with this mistake, and now my whole life is going to be coping with it, putting strategies here and there to live in a way that it doesn't get me. Do you feel that? Do you feel, the powerlessness there? Do you feel how horrible that is? It's a nightmare living like that, right? And so that's why at some point there's a part of you that is like, the hell with this, and flap in your face so that you face it, right? Because in that moment, as you start facing it, you will see that it's part of you. You'll also see that there's a lot of wisdom there. You'll also find incredible gems there. You'll also start realizing that everything around you is actually safe. It's part of you. And it becomes safe when you integrate it, when you make it part of you. When you run away, it will never be safe, right? So this is another experience that will come up. The third one is that most of the time we live in this feeling that we're all alone. We're in this bubble. And when you are going through these experiences, you need to realize that it's not only about you, that experience is actually impacting other people. That through that experience, there is a soul contract that is coming up between you and these other people, between you and other stuff, maybe things, maybe countries, whatever it is. But there is a soul contract there. So it's not only about you. And I want you to let that sink in and see the people that are involved and see that you have the power to impact other people. And that's what is going to be shown to you. And the impact is incredible, actually. It's big. And it depends what your choice is in that moment, right? So this is something else that needs to be considered. And maybe for the moment, I'll just leave it here. Maybe I'll just mention how to face it. Maybe you won't need that much. If you are in that situation, it very naturally will go towards it. But let me just give you a few pointers. Facing it means that, again, you go towards it. Going towards it means that you start becoming curious about it. When you run away, you don't know what you're running away from. You're just going the opposite way, right? But here you're going towards it, and you can sit down and start becoming aware of the fears that are coming up. And the one question you can ask yourself is, what are these fears? And you just write them down. It's not going to be easy because, you will be inundated with fears. But that's your first moment of relief when you're not running away, but you're going towards it. And you write it down for as long as you need to write it down. Or you can take and record it. And you record it, right? And you say, and you do that almost mindlessly. You just, whatever comes up, no censorship, really. It's like you're just vomiting, right? And you let it out. And there is going to be maybe a moment where, have you seen when people vomit and sometimes they're heaving and it's like they're so tired, but it's still coming up? That may come up. And so you just let it out for as long as you need until you find relief, right? Then you can take a little bit of space and come back to it again and again. You take time to bring it out, right? At some point, the second thing you can do is you can start asking yourself, what does that mean about me? Meaning that if I find myself now in this situation, what do I think that means about me? And the best way to do this exercise is by seeing the people involved and start thinking, start seeing what their judgments are about you. It's actually your own judgments. I mean, they may be judging you that way. I mean, but it's not really important here. The thing is that through their words, what you think they're judging you, you will find what you are making it mean about yourself. So maybe the fact that you are in that situation means that you're a failure. And you become aware of that. Or maybe that you're not good enough, or whatever it is, right? And you write it down. And in this case, you start questioning it. So you write it down, you feel into it, you feel how it feels. It's going to burn through you. I mean, there's going to be shame and all that, all those states that are going to come up. And you feel into it, and you ask yourself, is it true? I am a failure. Is it true? And you feel into that, and you just see. Maybe what will happen is that proof will come. Because of this, you're a failure. Because of that. So you write it down. Maybe you are, right? But have you questioned it? Because many times we have all these beliefs, all these thoughts about ourselves, but we've never questioned it. And so that's, do you want to live? I mean, beliefs, we base our lives based on our beliefs. Do you really want to live that way? Or do you want to live in a way where you have conscious beliefs, and based on that, you create your life, right? So you start asking the question, is it true? Is it true? And what you do in that moment is you ask the question, and you can do it one at a time. That's the best thing. You take one. I am, I don't know, I'm a failure, right? Is it true? You feel into it, you feel into your body, you let things come up. And then you leave it there hovering, around you and in you throughout the day. And maybe you can leave it for a few days. And let that question work its magic through you, because it will flush things out. And at some point, what will happen is that you will, clear out all the projections, all your fears, doubts, and all that. And at some point, your intuition will start talking to you. And you will know it's your intuition because it will just come to you. And it has this feeling of a breath of fresh air. It's very open. It's it just opens you up. I mean, it's just a breath of fresh air. That's how it feels. Something new is coming up. Something that was hidden is arising. And in that moment, you will see how that will change. You will change. Your belief about yourself will change naturally, organically, right? You're not doing anything about it. You're not trying to convince yourself. It just came to you. And that's incredible, because suddenly you start becoming aware that you can trust yourself. You can trust that what comes is not bad. That what comes is actually safe. What comes is what is going to keep you safe in this world, right? What comes is what is going to give you peace and love. So do these exercises, and you will see how at some point that situation that you dreaded for maybe most of your life will become this incredible healing and liberating experience for you. And how it will really change so much in you and outside of you. You will be amazed. So anyways, if you have any comments, any questions, let me know down below. Let me know if you're going through this, because I know many people are nowadays, because everything is coming up, coming out into the open. And if you need someone to work with, then there is a link below and you can book a session with me. And see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.